Hey guys, Sandy here. Happy New Year. Today I'm sharing a few creative, budget-friendly ways to refresh your home as we head into the new year. Ideas that make your space feel warm, cozy, and more intentional without having to start from scratch or spend a lot of money. And I'm pulling inspiration from Pottery Barn and showing you how to recreate that look and feel using simple supplies, easy techniques, and with pieces you may already own. For me, this is really about texture, layering, and learning how to see what you have differently instead of replacing. Sometimes a small change is all it takes to make something feel brand new again. So if you've got Pottery Barn taste on a Dollar Tree budget, you're in the right place. Now grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive in. This wood frame idea was inspired by one I saw at Pottery Barn. I love the scale of it, and since I already had a window frame at home, it felt like the perfect piece to update instead of buying something new. The size was exactly right for the space, but the finish had started to feel a little busy for the area. So I removed the old chippy paint, which actually sanded off pretty easily, and then I took a dark antiquing wax for a richer tone. The change alone made the piece feel calmer, more grounded, and much more intentional, and it immediately worked better with my other pieces and furniture. The biggest transformation, though, was adding a mirror behind the panes. I had the mirror cut at Lowe's. They're one of the only places that will cut mirror affordably and to exact measurements, which makes the project feel this much more accessible if you've never worked with mirror before. But instead of gluing it permanently, I mounted the mirror using small metal offsets. This way, if I ever change my mind, I can remove the mirror and use it for another project. I can remove it without damaging anything. That's the beauty of the offsets. And I always try to build flexibility into projects like this, especially for pieces in high traffic spaces. And if you don't have a frame to recreate this look, you can always use Dollar Tree framed mirrors and glue them together to get the same scale. And if you don't like the black ones, grab some of the 4x4 mirrors and frames and go that route. Now it's funny, I wasn't exactly sure about this piece at first, but once it was up and styled, it was actually what the space needed. It feels more refined, more cohesive, and much more in line with how I want this area to feel going into the new year. Every time I walk past it, I love it more and more, and I think that's the best sign that the update was worth it. So when I recently spotted a shelf on Pottery Barn's website, it reminded me how timeless this design really is and how easy it is to recreate at home. You see, I originally made shelves like these years ago when I wanted to display photos of my son and my partner's son without doing a full gallery wall. They ended up being one of my favorite projects because they're simple, flexible, and easy to customize. The smaller version I'm making today is using Dollar Tree wood, and I'm planning to use it in an upcoming makeover. But you can make these shelves any size or configuration you want. The key is keeping all of the wood pieces the same length. That's what makes it work. For my larger shelves, I had Home Depot cut all of the wood for me. I paid around $30 for two 4-foot shelves, and putting them together took about 20 minutes with just a few screws. I'll leave the measurements in the description box if you want to try this yourself. For the smaller shelf, I stain the wood before assembling it. If you glue it first, the stain won't absorb evenly, so doing it this way makes a big difference in the final finish. What makes this shelf so versatile is how you finish it. A different stain or paint completely changes the look, which means it can work with a lot of different decor styles. And the shelf has so many uses: photos, plants, or even decorative objects, just to name a few. And I'll be using the smaller version in next week's makeover in a different way, so make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss that. Now, before we move into the wall art, I want to quickly share something that's been really helpful for me lately, especially as I've been trying to create more pieces for my home instead of buying them. You see, Craftsy, the sponsor for today's video, happens to be my online resource for all things creative. And when you look at stores like Pottery Barn, wall art and custom finishes can easily cost hundreds, sometimes even well into thousands of dollars when you're decorating a space. What I've learned over the years is that the biggest difference usually isn't the supplies, it's about technique. That's where Craftsy comes in. I've taken classes on painting techniques, color layering, and composition, things that help you understand how to create, not just what to buy. And I also love that Craftsy offers classes in sewing, quilting, knitting, crochet, cooking, baking, and even cake decorating. So it's a great place to pick up a new hobby or build on one you already enjoy. And as we head into the new year, I've really been leaning into the idea of learning something new and using what I already have, especially when it comes to wall art and home projects. So if you're interested, the first 1,000 people watching this video who use my link will get a full year of Craftsy Premium for $1.49. This offer is valid for new members only, and I'll have a link in the description box below. Now let's get into the wall art. My next project was inspired by Pottery Barn's Shell Shadow Box wall art. These pieces retail for around $600 and come in a few different versions: tulip shell, oyster shell, and a few others. But I want to pause here for a second because pieces like this are often misunderstood. At first glance, they can feel coastal or seasonal, but what really draws me to them isn't the shell itself, it's the texture, the materials, the layering. That's what makes this kind of artwork year-round and feel elevated rather than decorative. In order to recreate this, I used an old wooden word sign I already had and flipped it over to the back. I see these signs at thrift stores all the time, and they're perfect for projects like this because they already have the depth built in. I gave mine a quick stain to warm up the wood, then added a linen background using leftover fabric and Mod Podge. That simple step immediately softened the piece and gave it that same elevated feel of the inspiration. From there, I grabbed a bag of shells from Amazon and used regular white glue to arrange them in a loose circular pattern, similar to the Pottery Barn version. This was honestly one of the most relaxing projects I've done in a while. There's no right or wrong here. You can take your time, adjust as you go, and let it come together naturally. The entire project cost about $10, and I still have plenty of shells left over for future DIYs. Once I finished and styled, it gave me exactly what I was hoping for: something calm, collected, and textural that adds interest through materials, not decoration. It fits right in with the rest of my home and feels intentional without feeling trendy. This is one of those projects that really proves you don't need expensive pieces to get that Pottery Barn look. It's all about how you layer, finish, and use what you already have. I also wanted to share this piece because the fluid style art is everywhere right now. You'll see versions like this at Pottery Barn and other high-end stores for as much as $200 a piece. What I love about this style is that it's incredibly forgiving, and it's not about precision, it's about movement and flow, which is why it works so well in so many spaces. Plus, it would be very easy to recreate. But Dollar Tree actually has a similar print, and honestly, it works beautifully just the way it is. You don't have to change a thing, but if you want to customize it, something as simple as changing the frame color, a soft blush, a warm neutral, even a muted tone, completely shifts the feel. This is one of those pieces that works well year-round and isn't tied to a theme or a season. It's soft, artsy, and calming without demanding attention, which makes it perfect for a bathroom, a guest room, or any space you want something interesting but not busy. So these sculptural bookends at Pottery Barn really caught my eye. They are stunning and made of red clay and hand painted, but will cost as much as $120 for the large set. It's just a beautiful piece of art, and again, this piece that isn't seasonal, but it could be if you want it to be. So I wanted to see if I could recreate the same look using a few simple materials. When I started experimenting with the sculptural heart, I wasn't focused on making it perfect. I was paying attention to the shape, size, and texture. I used Quickrete for a few of the heart-shaped molds from the Dollar Tree to see which one gave me the best shape. When mixing the Quickrete, I like to sift out the rocks for a smoother finish. I also mixed to the consistency of oatmeal. And this time I experimented with mixing in some latex paint with the water to lessen the gray color of the concrete. With the plastic mold, I sprayed it well with cooking spray so that it would release easily when set. Once the hearts were dry, it was time to make the bases. With the plastic bowl, I sprayed it with cooking spray, and then the tin mold, I used some plastic wrap to ensure that it would also come out easily. Once everything was fully cured, I sanded the edges a little, and then it was time for paint. I went a little darker than the Pottery Barn version, but that's the beauty of making your own art. You can always adjust the finish later if you want something lighter or warmer. And pieces like this work because of their imperfections. The softened edges and the stone-like surface, that's what gives them an artisan feel, rather than a crafty one. Styled with books or layered on a shelf, they really read as sculptural objects instead of themed decor, which is why they work year-round and feel so timeless. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Saturday.